William, you were heading down into the town.
I think Agapita, did I say?
Yeah.
I think
Just
Agapita
coming along.
they were coming with, and Josh was lagging behind, like with
Yeah.
everything else so far.
Josh wants to talk to his good crow buddy first. Oh, by the way, can this crow buddy have a name?
That's up to you. I'm not gonna name your character or name
His
your
name
bird.
shall be Clarence because it has alliteration, and Josh likes alliteration.
So
What was the name?
let's follow William. And you mind if I just call her Peta?
Yeah, anything. Just
Okay. With both of you heading down the mesa, is there any conversation, or is it that silence?
I think I'd try to initiate conversation. Hey, I don't think I caught your name.
William, Reverend William Barnett.
Reverend.
You kind of tap the white collar around his neck.
Oh. Well, usually I heard that y'all drink wine or something.
Yeah, wine don't do the job when you've seen enough stuff anymore. Plus, I don't like the taste.
I don't know. Thought you'd like to taste the blood.
No,
That's what.
no, not quite. You Sue from the kind of point northish. One of the shaman types, yeah.
Well, not that way. More like that way. Or to Louisiana.
I don't know, no. Well, at
Well, now you do.
least you ain't
That's
Irish.
Shots fired.
How'd you end up out here in the middle of nowhere?
Well, got a task at hand, but more like a long term, not immediate. Just trying to get from one place to another to get there.
Well, so you running from something or to something?
To something, definitely. Hold on. The winds are picking up.
I'd tell you what the good book's got to say about it, but I don't think your type cares much.
No, I'd love to hear your insight. Oh, hello?
I hear you. He'll kind of look you up and down, and reach up, fiddle with the cross a bit. Pull his flask out, unscrew the top, kind of sniff it, shake it to his ear, and take a little sip. You think whatever you run in twos at the other end of this train?
Nah. The nearest just...
You eager for perdition?
I don't know what that means.
Hell, boy. You eager to go to hell?
Who you calling boy?
Girl.
A lady.
Woman? He'd say woman, sorry.
Oh. Sorry. Oh. Well, can't really be scared when you got something to do. Well, you can be, but figure of speech.
The good book says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged." Cowardice is ignoring the Lord's command. Ain't no room for it.
I know, wait. Kind of echoing you. I take my canteen, shake it a bit, but it's just water. And take a swig.
Kind of watch her and say, it's called mirroring. You do what I do, so I see you doing what I'm doing, and I like you more. It works. Most people. I like you anyway, though, I think. Hell, we're probably going to die together tomorrow night, so might as well like you.
I mean, not surprised. Most people do.
As this conversation goes on, we're gonna go back to Josh the Jinx, who's up the mesa a bit. What was your raven's name?
Clarence.
Clarence, sort of the leader of the rest of the ravens, as it were. A little bit bigger than the others. Currently has his feathers fluffed while sitting in what was once a relatively normal looking tree. Now looks more like a limb sticking up out of the earth with its flesh peeled from it, as previously stated. It almost feels like that Clarence is attempting to fluff his feathers enough to pull his head in to hide amongst them, as if that would going to do anything.
Well, Josh is gonna call to him and hold out his arm in the hopes that he'll come land so they can have a chat.
Takes a moment. He reluctantly does take off and land on your arm. Pecks at your hand a few times. Not out of any sort of malice, but just out of bird-like instinct and behavior.
Just to double check that I'm me. It's almost like a greeting. Josh is gonna try to reassure Clarence. Like, don't worry, little man. We've been through tough scraps before. We'll get through this one too.
Why don't you give me a roll on that?
Would that be persuasion, maybe?
Persuasion, yeah. If your words have an effect on Clarence, he shows no outward sign. Every little noise, the wind picks up, he starts, looks around. The donkey brays or scuffs its hoof at the ground. Causes Clarence to spread his wings real quick as if he's getting ready to take off before he realizes, oh, it was just the donkey. Showing every signs of an animal that really doesn't want to be in its current location, though the location at this time seems normal enough.
Well, we've been through this before. Clarence doesn't usually feel any safer when he's inside with me. Birds want to be able to fly when they feel threatened. If I locked him in, he'd just be more panicked. Nothing to do about it but wait till morning, I think. I should go see what the other two are doing. We didn't really properly introduce ourselves because I was running slightly late on account of that ornery mule over there.
You gonna take the mule with you, or gonna leave it?
The donkey wants to come with me.
Or shoot it in the head.
I am not going to
That's
shoot
weird.
a donkey just because it was being stubborn.
That
It's just like
donkey,
it has a butt after.
the donkey does not want to go. The donkey was okay with being here until the train showed up, and then it lost all interest in being here. Kind of like every other animal, honestly.
Well, if it was being difficult with me before we got here, I'm definitely not going to be able to get it to do anything it doesn't want to do now. So I'm not going to force it to come with me anywhere it doesn't feel like. I'm going to go find the saloon where presumably my fellows in arms are there, trying to, I don't know, drink this whole thing over until tomorrow.
So, where would the two of you be by the time Josh rejoins you? They're roughly about 5 to 6 minutes behind.
Are there any bodies in this town? Or are the bodies gone too?
The bodies are there. Bodies.
And that-
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. First body you come to. How best do I put this? Body's roughly, if you were to put an age on the body. Size and shape couldn't be older than 13, 14.
Oh,
If you were going to place an age based off of facial features and the like, you'd say 80, 90. Which is a little bit hard for your brain to put the two together because they are both very different numbers. And unless you've broken off from William, you would see the exact same thing.
This town, by its size, are we talking a population of 50 to 60, 200 to 300?
Probably closer to 40 to 50.
Okay, so it's a small little place.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what William would be doing, maybe with or without Agapita's help, is pulling the bodies out onto Main Street, stacking them up. Making
I'd be
a pile.
helping. Yeah, as soon as I realize what you're doing, I'd...
The idea would be to pull them all out, make a pile of them, basically, and so that he can give them some ceremony.
I thought you were gonna burn him, but
That'll
yeah,
happen afterwards too. But we'll take him to like one end of Main Street so he can give some ceremony, say some prayers, put him to pyre, and then go find the saloon, drink a bit, and pass out until nightfall starts to get close.
So, Josh, it's gonna take more than Very clearly going to take more than 10 minutes to drag that many bodies to Main Street.
He gets down there and sees William like coming out of a saloon with like the fifth body out of the saloon. Like,
They're all dead?
well, they ain't
Yeah.
saying hello.
Yeah, it's very funny. Here, let me help.
With
And
three people, that's 3 bodies.
Every few minutes.
Yeah. I'd say take 1 to 2 hours. Somewhere in that range to get all the bodies lined up. Or piled, depending on how you want to do it.
Yeah. Maybe you have
Question.
2.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask, like, facial wise, like, do they look?
Either there was something in the water that made you look really, really old, or the wrinkles and sunken features aren't natural. You're pulling out bodies that you would normally associate with young adults, young children. All of them have the same case of looking to be maybe 80, 90.
So they just rapidly aged until they all died.
Well, the good book says the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. This demonic act is a painful reminder that the thief prowls the night. Emboldens our decision. As he just drops another body into the pile.
Yeah.
Kind of
With all due
punctuated
respect,
by
I'm
the
not sure
morbidity.
how much. With all due respect, I'm not sure how much stock I put in the good book anymore.
Careful, he's a reverend.
This is the devil's work. And if at any other time, it's most important now we remember it's the Lord who provides in abundance.
Maybe he does, but we don't get special treatment. It's still on us to do the right thing.
Emboldened by his divine power in my case, as you may come to rely on in the future.
Let's hope we do
Tomorrow night.
things right enough that we won't have to.
And he'll kind of turn at that as we kind of drop the last bodies and give a short but morbid hellfire and brimstone style old school sermon, and then light him on fire before he turns to walk towards the saloon.
Yeah. As you're doing that, I'm gonna turn to the person that we haven't introduced it to. I don't think we call your name.
Mine?
Late, Mr. Tardy.
Yes. Josh.
Josh. I'm Agapita. Nice to meet you.
Agapita?
Yeah.
Can I just call you dragon fruit or something?
No.
Kind of holler back and say, "She ain't Sue no coyote. She says she from the bayou area, but ain't a witch. It's weird."
Doesn't sound so strange to me. People come from all over.
Do you call dragon fruit from where it come from? We call people
No, it's further south than where I come from. Pitahaya is what they call dragon fruit. So,
Good for them.
So, as William turns his back, Agapita and Josh, where are you in relation to William and the now burning pile of bodies?
You go first.
Well, it's rude not to have a conversation with someone when you're looking right at them. So, Josh should be right there.
I imagine when William was doing his thing, he'd be nearer, so she'd be like bit of a ways off from the burning fire. Like, if I need to put it in feet, like 30 feet.
I don't like when you change the music, Will.
Music changing is never good in this
A
sort of
scream echoes out. High-pitched. Doesn't take anybody more than 2 seconds to understand the agony in the voice that's screaming out. Coming from, well, the pile of burning bodies.
That's not good.
Was one of them just passed out?
No, I think we would have seen the face, right?
Yeah, it'd be hard to believe that something survived and we didn't notice it in between, like dragging it out, dumping it, stacking on top of it. Didn't notice breathing or aging or anything else.
Yeah.
William will turn. Hand on the hilt of his pistol. That Star 44, a Star revolver he's got. Immediately, and then kind of when he realizes where it comes from, I just go. He'll say exactly what I say. He goes, "That ain't good, boys." And he'll
Josh
start walking
isn't
back that
waiting.
direction.
He's already got his pistol out and everything.
So, with that, I am going to draw a card. Okay. 9. Does everybody have the action deck already set up?
I think so.
I might not.
What?
You should be
They
able
could
to
try.
go to the icon right next to the gear on Roll20. You should have an option that says Dex, and it should have an option for you to show your playing cards.
Yeah, my playing cards are shown.
Okay.
Graphics.
I got
Right.
safety deck and I got playing cards, and playing cards are currently
See.
shown.
Yep.
So
Playing cards is what you want.
Keyboard shortcuts. I see a pink deck here.
It should say playing cards. It should say Dex, name,
Yeah,
playing.
it's labeled playing cards. So.
Yep.
Does that mean we're good?
Yeah,
so
playing cards.
if the button says hide, then it's showing. If the button says show, then it's hidden.
Yeah.
So the macros would right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if everybody would like to draw a card for initiative.
Ooh, we're drawing our own?
Yeah.
How do
Okay.
I do it? I don't know how to do it.
So who just
Like-
who just flipped over the 7?
Me.
That was me. Was I not supposed to
Oh,
do
wait.
that?
No, that's perfectly
No,
fine.
I did that. I did that.
How,
Was it you?
I
Because I clicked
hovered
it.
over this and then I got a card and then I clicked on it
Yeah.
and it was a 7.
I did that. I clicked and then the 7 popped up.
Okay.
Which one of is it?
We'll just say that one's yours then.
Okay. Because you hover. Okay.
So, next person.
Okay. I have. Okay, I'm clicking and it's just also a 7, but that makes no sense because there was already one.
All right.
Oh.
Well, fine. I'll draw for people just to keep this going.
Wait.
Yep, because I don't know.
Ace?
I'm clicking things and nothing's happening. So
An ace popped up?
Yep, I threw up an ace. That would be for... So I'm... Okay, how about I do this? Just to keep things simple. Let me shuffle the deck real quick. Stop. Sorry, Roll20 is being finicky right now. It keeps wanting... It wants me to... Okay, there we go. Queen, queen, 9. All right. So, reverse order. The 2 queens came out first. That's going to be William and Agapita.
all right.
Spades goes first, then club, then hearts, then diamonds, and then clubs. So it's gonna go William, Agapita, this thing, and then Josh the Jinx. So, William, you turn back around. I believe were the last words I heard.
I did. What do I see?
You see one of the corpses, as it were, pulling itself from the pile, quite on fire.
Okay.
Very quickly, however, there ain't no more flesh to burn, but the fire keeps going.
Fantastic. I'm gonna... Am I within... Let's see, 12 pace would be a lot. It'd be like, am I within 60, 70 feet?
Oh, God, yes.
Okay, because 12 pace, 1 pace is 6 feet, so I want to make sure I'm within 12 pace. All right, if I'm within 12 pace, I'm gonna stay put. Maybe even back up a little bit if I've got room. I'm gonna grab my holy symbol and say a small prayer and put my hand on my pistol. Most people won't see anything happen. But what does happen if I roll, we're going to make a faith roll here.
Oh.
That's with a raise, son. So what happens here is, while nobody will see it, small little engravings of holy symbols and symbols of saints and things like that are gonna just kind of appear on the bullets in the chamber of his pistol. And the weapon damage is increased by a +4 whenever I shoot something with it. And that'll be it. Just the one action.
All right. Agapita.
Yes. Seems like the fire's not doing anything, so I'm gonna change my plan. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna move up to it. I imagine that's possible.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
We're not
Yeah.
talking any distance that your pace is not going to cover at this point. Like,
okay. Yeah. Is it an action to take out my spear from my back?
no.
Okay. So yeah, draw it out and then make an attack at it. Just hit it.
right, give me your fighting. All right, so I am gonna turn it over to Draz for a quick bit. Why don't you explain combat for those that aren't familiar
Sure.
with the system?
So there's two different. You got melee and you got ranged. For melee combat, your target number is the enemy's parry. If your attack roll, your fighting roll in this case, meets their parry, then the next thing you will do is roll damage. If your damage meets or beats their toughness, they will be shaken. And while shaken, you can only take free actions. If you beat their toughness by a raise, then they are wounded. Most extras, that's the end of them. Wild cards have more wounds that they can take that result in various penalties of sorts. For ranged combat, when you make an attack, your target number is always 4. So if potentially modified by certain edges or things like that, but the target number is always, as a general rule, is always 4 for ranged combat. Modifiers can come into play if you're trying to make called shots, if they have edges that create negatives, things like that, maybe other certain situations. Positive modifiers can also come from edges and things like that. So with they rolled a 6 for their fighting roll. So if the enemy's parry is a 6 or lower, then effectively they hit, and we'll find out if they hit hard enough to do damage in just a moment.
And their parry is lower. So go ahead and see if you can...
As a note, if you beat their parry by a raise, your damage gets an additional d6 added to it. That does not matter what the weapon is, it's always a d6, except when it's not.
Okay. I have an edge. Though I don't know if... Okay. Whatever. So it beats it, I do d6 plus...
So if you... yeah, so whatever your strength die is, plus your weapon damage die. So if you're like, it'll be like, if your strength is a d4 and your weapon's a d6, then you'll roll d4 plus d6. Sometimes plus additional. Like the Star Revolver is 2d6 plus 1, for example. A Bowie knife is strength plus d4 plus 1, as another example.
This is just 2d6, okay. Cool.
So for you, it'll be 2d6.
Okay.
So you rolled a 4. So if their toughness is a 4 or lower, they will be shaken. If it is higher than a 4, you didn't hit them hard enough for them to care.
Your spear finds its mark. But as this thing moves forward, it doesn't seem to care.
Oh, just as a note, I'd be spear has reach, so I'd be like a little bit away. So just like 5 feet away.
So you can be 2 pace away instead of being adjacent.
Yeah.
However,
Or there could be a pace between the two of you, rather.
this thing can easily make that distance. So, it's gonna make its fighting roll. Ignore the wild die. So that's a 4. Does that equal or beat your parry?
No.
And it doesn't hit.
Mine's a 6. Yep. Just bob and weave.
Alright. Oh, I had actually put that wrong.
Oh.
So, The Jinx.
It is time. Well, Josh is he's just gonna shoot it with his revolver, honestly, because well, steel usually puts things down. Might take a bit, but it'll probably still hold here.
Just making sure of a situational rule here.
So, with a revolver, Josh got a 4, which is the target number when you're shooting. Oh no, sorry, Josh hasn't rolled yet. I was looking at the Marshal's fighting roll.
Yeah.
Does Grim Servant of Death apply here?
So just to be aware, remember you are firing into melee.
Oh, I am?
Yeah,
it.
Grim Servant of Death will apply.
Yeah, it applies.
If I'm firing into melee and there's a higher chance that I'm gonna hit someone else, well, do I trust my aim or do I trust my fists?
So a critical failure is when both your trait die and your wild die roll a 1. For those who don't know, Grim Servant of Death is a hindrance you can take where you hit things harder, but you hit your friends more often. So anytime he rolls, Josh the Jinx rolls a critical failure, there's no choice in the matter. He hits an ally, even if that ally is not in the line of fire. Something could happen. He could his aim gets distracted. Something jostles the gun, etc.
How much of a problem is shooting into melee? What kind of penalty does that give me?
When firing into melee, if you miss and your trait die rolls a 1, you may, at the Marshal's discretion, invoke the innocent bystander rule, in which case you shoot your friend.
Isn't that effectively the same thing as what Grim Servant of Death would already do?
Grim Servant of Death means that even if your friends are not in melee, and you roll a critical failure, you're going to hit somebody no matter what.
So basically,
this is
you could basically on a critical failure, you could shoot William rather than
even though I'm behind you.
Yeah.
As a bystander, you can only hit somebody who is reasonably within the line or cone of fire in which it happens. So if your skill die rolls a 1 and you've got a friend in melee, you may hit them with innocent bystander if the Marshal deems it dramatically appropriate. With Grim Servant of Death, if you roll a critical failure, even if all your friends are behind you and nobody's in melee, you're still going to hit one of them no matter what.
Well, no matter what, if I choose to fight and I screw up, someone who is on our side is still going to get hurt. So I might as well go with the thing that I'm better at, right?
Yep.
They don't call him Josh the Lucky.
Yes, well, in that case, I'm going to try and shoot then. Fire away.
I have a thing. I have an edge. I just realized this is what it does. It failed to hit me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have counterattack, I believe. Is that right? When
that is an edge, yes.
Well, go table it for right now, and let's get Josh's roll.
Against. Okay.
So that's a shooting roll, right?
Yes.
It is.
With what sort of penalty?
No penalty.
Oh. Just the stark awareness that I may end up shooting someone I actually like.
But you don't.
But you don't.
Not this time. So that's I tack on a +1 to that from Grim Servant of Death.
Yeah.
That's Grim Servant of Death is damage.
Yeah, damage.
Oh, damage, not accuracy. Okay.
Yeah. When you roll now that you've hit, when you roll your damage, you'll add a +1 to it.
Okay. And the damage for a revolver is like...
Depends on the revolver. Which one you got?
I don't remember which one I took, and apparently I didn't put it in my character sheet.
They're normally either 2d6 or 2d6 plus 1. 2d6 plus 1 is typically like larger ammo, 44, 45. If it's like a...
I remember taking the 2d6.
There you go.
There you go.
2d6.
Give that 2d6.
Okay. Let's see. 2d6. Does that work?
6.
So that's
The bonus damage doesn't account. So it just... That's a weird
I don't know
thing
how to
to
get
roll
rid of
into
that.
those.
though.
Yeah, we can work through that offline. So it'd be 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Nice.
So if its toughness is 6 or less.
Oh wait, I forgot my tab
It'll
on
be-
+1 from Grim
7.
Servant of Death.
Yeah. So if its toughness is 7 or less.
the bullet finds its mark. And it lets out an ear-piercing scream. Now, I kind of let it go this first round. However, at this scream, I need a fear check.
From all of us?
From
Spirit
it.
roll, right?
That is, and you guys are in a Deadland.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Do we have a penalty for being in a Deadland when we roll this then?
Oh,
We
you
do.
absolutely do. I believe.
We do. I believe it's like -4, maybe?
-4.
Do
Yeah.
I slap that onto my attributes, or does it pop up when I click the fear check roll button?
There's a fear check roll button?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
that little scared emoticon on
look at
top
that.
of your character sheet.
Yep. It automatically rolls it. It doesn't give you a it doesn't allow you
Oh.
to put in a modifier.
We're spending a penny on that.
Here I am.
Yeah,
We're not
0.
we're not taking a 2 on my spirit. That's not happening. I'm spending a penny.
Wait, why did I do it twice?
I don't recall how terrible this roll is.
Oh man, at -4.
-4, pretty much any dice roll is gonna suck.
That's gonna give me a 1. Do I want to spend
I didn't-
another penny?
You guys have 3.
I only meant to
Almost-
roll once.
I'm gonna
so
spend
just
one more
ignore this.
penny. There we go. 11
There we go.
-4, 7. Success.
So
Whew.
everybody outside of William is scared.
We roll on the fear table now, right?
That we do.
Hehehe.
This is where things get fun. Well, fun for me.
So
Is there a way to track being scared on my character sheet?
oh yeah, it'll be the hindrance you pick up potentially.
Oh.
I need a 1d20.
From
You and Josh.
let's see, 5.
8.
Those could have been worse.
5 and 8.
It's one of those times when higher is not better.
Oh, so nat 20 would have been.
Nat 20 would have been fate itself conspiring to screw you over.
So, with a 5, You are distracted until the next turn.
Oh,
That's not too bad.
That means you have a -2 to any and all trait rolls you make.
And on an 8, you're vulnerable until next turn. Until the end of your
Yeah.
next turn.
Which means everything that makes a move against you has a +2.
I don't
Oh.
like.
No, it's not great.
William.
We're gonna draw a new deck? Was that the end of it?
You draw
We
every
redraw.
turn?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So let me move these.
You don't shuffle the deck though. You only shuffle the deck if a Joker plays.
I
Ace,
have a question.
5,
Sure.
6,
Ooh.
and then one for myself. Jack.
Nice.
Whatever this
Wait,
thing is,
not
this burning, rotted, screeching corpse is fast.
Yeah.
So it goes.
The Ace beats the Jack though.
Oh, I thought.
Ace is a no, brother. Ace is a top card.
My bad. So that
Move.
there we
Go ahead.
That was you. You were the ace.
So I'm gonna take a shot. I have marksman. I'm not moving this turn, so I will get +1 from marksman.
Mhm.
I'm also going to use double tap, where I get +1 to both hit and damage, but I have to burn 2 bullets to do it. So I'll have +2 to hit, +1 to +5 to damage, because this is also I cast smite on my gun.
Yes, you did.
So the preacher is now going to draw his pistol and make that roll. That's a 5. So that'll hit on a shooting roll.
Yes, it will.
So he pulls that star revolver out. So that'll be 8 + 5 will be 13 points of damage.
And that is a raise is for whatever toughness is +4, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
That is a raise.
So if it's an extra,
It is very much. Well, you can't really be when you're already dead. However, your shot is true. And whatever was animating this thing leaves it as it crumples to the ground. Where its skull once was no longer exists. Shards of bone, smoldering bone, go flying in all directions. And there is
he'll
a
just
quiet that rolls
he'll
over.
say Romans 12:21, and he'll look at Josh and say, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." And he'll tap his revolver. Now, we were going to have a drink before we went to bed.
Well, might as well. Especially if there's going to be more of that when the train arrives.
I imagine there will be. Let's have a drink and get some sleep.
As the posse climbs into the saloon and begins to help themselves to whatever they want.
Thanks for watching Spaghetti Wednesdays on the Domain Gaming, the actual play series where we throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe You can also support us on Patreon and get access to exclusive content, behind the scenes, and more. Tune in next week for another thrilling adventure on Spaghetti Wednesdays. Let's see what sticks this time.